Can I ask you about RFK? Because just moments ago, his running mate said that they were considering endorsing you. Have you considered him for a role in the administration, and what role would that be?
Who in the hell does he think he is? Who does he think he is? There's no words for a person.
Yes, this came as a shock. I didn't know this would happen. Trump has expressed openness to RFK playing a role in his potential future administration should Kennedy drop out of the 2024 race and endorse Trump. This came few hours ago where this lady made it clear like the only person they consider here is Trump. It is important I show you this.
My gut tells me right now is that we just have to keep being honest. I gotta just keep being honest. I gotta keep focusing on what matters the most outside of party lines. I need to focus on a vision that goes beyond November. And if that means that we stay in, and, you know, there's benefits to staying in. If we get over 5% of the vote, we actually establish ourselves as a party. 71% of Americans want a strong third party with a real shot at winning. There's even public funds available if we get over 5% of the vote. So we could get, I think it's like $13.5 million in public funds to keep the party going. And that's, you know, that's worth something. That means that we can position for a real third party election in 2028 where we don't have to go around and spend tens of millions of dollars on ballot access, which means that we can spend all of that time and money campaigning. So, you know, there's two options that we're looking at, and one is staying in, forming that new party, but we run the risk of a Kamala Harris and Waltz presidency because we draw votes from Trump, or we draw somehow more votes from Trump, or we walk away right now and join forces with Donald Trump, and you know, we walk away from that and we explain to our base why we're making this decision. Not easy.
Clearly.
Yeah, not an easy decision.
Now,
yes, I believe you heard her before we go into this Trump video. In a recent interview, Shanha discussed two options: staying in the race to establish a third-party alternative for 2028 or align with Trump to avoid splitting vote that could lead to a Kamala Harris presidency. Shanha emphasized they never intended to be spoilers and exploring all possibility to impact the 2024 leg. We have seen how this man has been treated by Democrats, and taking the decision to endorse Trump will be a big win. I don't know if you see it. Take a look at Trump's response.
Can I ask you about RFK? Because just moments ago, his running mate said that they were considering endorsing you. Have you considered him for a role in the administration, and what role would that be?
Well, we haven't, but I would love that endorsement because I've always liked him.
Would you also consider putting him in the administration?
You're asking me a very unusual question. I haven't been asked that question yet. I like him a lot. I respect him a lot. I probably would if something like that would happen.
Now, obviously, this would be a little strange for traditional Republicans since RFK has a lot of incredibly progressive stances. It also comes a day after he said he would consider putting Elon Musk in the administration. I asked what an administration with two people who a lot of Republicans would not necessarily back would look like. What would he tell Republicans who wouldn't want to vote for that administration? He blew it off. He said that he believes he is smart, that they are smart, that Republicans like him, and it's his decision. But the other thing is that, you know, he really, and I want to point this out, Wolf, we've been talking a lot about this. I asked specifically, in addition to this, what he was doing differently as we see the polls narrowing, as we see this campaign changing. And he said over and over again that he didn't need to change anything, that nothing needed to change, even though he himself acknowledged that the polls are closing. So overall, an interesting conversation.
Very interesting. Thank you very much, Kristen Holmes, reporting for us. Good work.
Yes, from my understanding, what I'm seeing here, RFK have realized majority of people who support him tilted away from Trump. So endorsing Kamala will be wastage because these same people will just go back to Trump. That is just from my observations. And the video at the beginning of this clip, this lady made it clear. Now going into another clip, you can clearly see how liberals can panic. If you love what I'm doing here and you want to support the channel, please subscribe and if possible, share the video.
Thank you, everybody, very much.
Thank you for coming. Kamala Harris campaign attacking you for being in his town because they say there are white supremacists here a month ago. They're Democrats.
Who was here in 2021? Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
That was an instant smackdown. I'm impressed. Sometimes when I see moments like this, it reminds me of the Trump we used to look back. The way he tackles on these people, it is amazing. The mainstream media is understanding that Democrats are failing.
Will there be any notable differences? Is there one policy where you can point to where Kamala Harris would govern differently than President Biden?
Look, I think it's seen as across the board. At the end of the day, for some of the things, when it comes to it, the vice president is listening to voters. This isn't a comparison or contrast. She's been a partner to President Biden as they have delivered a record amount of legislation that has changed people's lives.
Democrats winning any new voters at this convention?
I highly doubt it. I think this is all playing to their own base, not trying to recruit new people, because clearly the Democratic Party, my party, is not interested in talking about what matters. How are you going to keep people safe? How are you going to secure the border? And how are you going to deal with the 8 million undocumented individuals that they let in under Kamala Harris's lead?
Yes, when I take a look at polling market, Kamala Harris was leading Trump just at the start of this. Everything is going against her favor. Trump is leading her like never before. This was something that we never saw at the beginning. That is to clearly tell you these people are failing because just yesterday they mentioned Trump's name 178 times. Throughout, without actually bringing out their policies, what they want to do, why people should continue to support them. I didn't see that. It is concerning, right? If these people don't adjust this at a certain point, it will be a disaster.
No news conferences for Harris, no sit-down interviews.
When she was the most unpopular vice president.
Well, because if they took it to an open convention, there's zero chance she would have won. The only way to keep all the money they had raised this far was to install Kamala.
A joke to me.
Excuse me, sir. Trump or Kamala?
Trump.
Trump or Kamala?
Trump. Damn Kamala.
Kamala Harris is in office right now and has not tried to do anything about the border, has not tried to not tax people on tips.
For some people, it's already started.
But when you disrespect Kamala Harris,